We won't do that. We won't do that. We're live. We're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Say or Dice. Thank you for joining us for more Kharos Stones. My name is Cody with Taking 20, and I have some beautiful, incredible, wonderful, sexy, amazing, spiky, frosted-tipped, Justin Bieber-haired people with us this evening. As we have Lauren B, aka xMsGinjaNinja. We have Draxus being played by Mike Hunt.
Well, that's
all I got. I just got to that, and who cares who he's with? What his brand is? With unMadeGaming, we have David Friant from Nerdarchy. We of course are joined by some guy from XP Level 3 or some channel, Jacob BUDZ, and who we adore, and the one and only Fat Goblin, Guy SCLANDERS from How to Be a Great GM. So, here with a few words from our sponsors is Guy SCLANDERS.
Elderwood Academy, one of our sponsors, makes wooden stuff like hex chests and stuff. It's really awesome stuff that they make because they're Elderwood Academy. So they're fantastic. They make wood. Got wood? Elderwood Academy. That's what you're going for. Yes. Then we've got Fantasy Grounds, which I use occasionally when I don't screw it up, causing the entire cast to panic because I've broken it. And they're awesome too. They don't have any wood. And then we have Dungeon Painter Studio, which you can grab on Steam at a fairly low price, and it's pretty awesome in terms of making maps, which I occasionally use as well here on Fantasy Grounds, which is awesome. And so there we go. Am I doing this right? Is that how you?
We thought he was going to read it the last minute. This is what we get. I
gotta say,
I love your face. I love you so much.
So last week, Dave had said Elderwood Academy gut wood. That's going on. That's our new slogan from now on. Anyone who reads Elderwood Academy gut wood.
I don't think that's an officially approved slogan, but
I can draw up a logo for you as well.
Yep.
Correct.
No, it's not gut wood. It's get wood.
It's dice boxes.
Wood up. We have. Yes, we have a Fantasy Grounds. Who cares? This is chaos. We have a Fantasy Grounds contest going right now, guys. So we're going to give away an ultimate license. If you guys don't know what an ultimate license is, it's the ultimate license. Along with the dungeon. We're not giving it. What is it? The player's handbook in it? Yeah, the player's handbook and an ultimate license. So if you guys have an ultimate license, all your friends can just download the demo and play on your game for free, like they have all of your books. So the ultimate license is everything your entire group needs if you happen to win. So link will be down in the description box below. We'll post that up on Twitch and things as well for you guys hanging out with us over there. And then also for those of you guys who are on the patron tiers where you're going to be submitting ideas for the After Dark game, keep an eye out this upcoming week. We're going to have Jacob post some things up there and have you guys vote on it for all the ridiculous shenanigans. And so if you guys are already one of our patrons for the After Dark show, keep an eye out for that. That's all I got. Let's kill some things. Maybe try to survive and not jump off buildings this week. Would be nice.
I saved your life. I saved you.
And I landed it. So
yeah.
I feel like I saved everyone like 3 times, and then stopped the bad guy single-handedly and got the rod off him.
And we made friends. Well, wow.
But you made up for it, Dave. All the great that you did in the tour game where you almost got us all killed. So we appreciate that as well.
You're welcome.
All right, cast your minds back. The 5 of you found yourselves ensconced in blankets and beds inside a tavern that you had rented for the night to recuperate and recoverate after your violent confrontation with Balok in the stable yards below. Vankus had decided to return back to the Skywill to speak with his beloved, betrothed, and breakfast-making wife named Leslie, who had decided to order the construction of a nest for herself and her dearly, dearly, dearly loved. That's where we found ourselves, and there you go. What are you guys doing? The sun has risen, you are recovered, rested, and all hail and hearty, as they say.
Thank God.
Valentin woke up early. He's going to go out to the ship, the mast, and look out into the sea of, what is it, clouds or islands?
Yes, absolutely.
And he's just going to hope he can feel a direction for the stone to take him.
Standing out, when you say to the mast, you mean to the top of the inn or to the skywheel itself? Because you were
Skywheel itself.
Okay, the skywheel itself.
Oh, are we on the inn? We're on an inn, huh?
You were in the inn, correct?
Then I'll go to the inn.
Sure. The inn has got a viewing platform.
Yeah.
Most of the structures in Salak Sadrom have flat roofs with awnings and things so you can look out and see what's going on. So as you stare longingly outwards, hoping for some kind of sensation, you get a vague impression that you need to head south. Not down, but south.
Can I see south?
Looking south, you can see there are some larger islands drifting from one side of the planet to the other, as they are wont to do. But you know from general experience that south is the capital city of Menkesh Hadar, which is the capital city of the elves up here, the Saikun Adwa Alliance. Further south is Hightown. Yeah, Menkesh Hadar is the main capitals that is part of the Further south is Hightown, an independent city-state, and beyond that, more of the Saunkud Adwa Alliance territory.
All right, I will take note of that. Head inside. Who am I in a room with?
I believe it was pretty much everybody was bivouacked in the same room. So
gotcha. Okay. So if nobody's awake yet, I'm going to start dinging a breakfast bell.
Sure.
Without any breakfast.
You get a shoe thrown at you.
Barnabas comes running.
My AC is too good.
Whose shoe is it?
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, Jenks probably doesn't wear shoes.
Jenks, no, she doesn't. Jenks was sleeping like this with one leg on the wall and one leg halfway over there. And
where did you get that
shoe? As soon as she hears this, you just see like a shuffling and then just throw. Just in that general direction.
Where did you get that shoe?
And you're a shoe.
I just yell out, "Bongo, no!" And I run over and grab my shoe that she's grabbed.
Everyone.
It was real. This isn't a nightmare. Okay. Okay.
We've got a woman to find, right? She's in a circus or something.
Any woman or a specific one?
She's got the green thing.
Yeah. Is it traveling circus?
And he rummages around for the pamphlet.
Right.
Oh, the thing.
Do we know where they are? They are.
Yes.
Are they in the city?
Performing in 2 days' time, or now it's a day's time, in the city of Hightown, which happens to be to the south of where you are.
It's on a different island?
It is a different island, yes. It's quite a travel, depending on how much continental or island drift there has been, but it's probably about 5 days.
Right.
Thankfully, the circus will be in Hightown, it says, for the remainder of the month, which gives you another 15 days.
It's a long journey there, and the stone is leading me that way as well. We need to start making our way. We need to leave early. So get your coffee, get your things, and we should head out.
Are we even sure that this is even necessary?
We need to locate these stones.
I mean, we've been working under the assumption that they had some importance, but I am not so certain any longer.
Balak is not here to take it anymore, but anybody else could do the same thing. We don't want these to fall into the wrong hands. They need to be secured.
I suppose that is true. Well, let's off then.
Guy, are we in the Solasphere right now? Or are we
Yes,
the next one down? Okay.
Salak Sadroma. You're at the very highest point of the entire planet.
Okay.
I think Jenks jumps up eventually, throws her backpack on and stands there like she's ready to go. And she'll head outside once she realizes no one's ready yet. And then just start picking flowers outside.
Is Leslie here?
No, Leslie is with Vankus on the Skywall.
We're on the Skywall waiting.
So Venkis is not here.
Yeah,
No.
waiting.
All right. They're nesting. I'm gonna.
Oh God, I forgot we have to buy that from the guy.
So, I have recently come into some money. Has anyone seen a water seller here, salesman?
Oh, plenty wandering the streets.
Perfect. Thanks, ominous voice in the distance.
Are
Water
you?
is like no, it's like gold in Hightown. That's a hot commodity in Hightown. If that's where we're going, that'll buy you more. Yes.
Can we
It's
use
the
some of it
highest
to
point in the
refill?
solar sphere?
Can we use some of it to refill the hot tub
Very hot.
on the deck?
I would prefer not to spend my money on hot tub water. No. Do you have any? You have 1 gold coin. You can see how much that'll get you.
Okay.
No, you should be trying to convince her to stop bathing in the drinking water.
It's totally fine.
If she's going to ignore everything you just said, they're not going to know it's bathing water.
Are you saying? Wait, we're going to need water where we're going.
No, we don't need water, but if you're going to bribe your way into anything, water's like gold there. In fact, they literally trade gold for
It's
water.
like free here. Why don't we just get a bunch of barrels?
That's what I'm saying. The barrels aren't free.
Well, I will go with you to secure some water barrels.
Perfect.
All right.
There's a montage of that guy. Fast
Correct.
forward.
Dun, dun, dun.
Montage.
Absolutely a montage of purchasing water and water barrels. Although it is, as a side note, it's not actually as cheap as you had thought it would be. Water is fairly scarce in the entire area of the solid state.
Scheisse.
So it does cost you some, but you can decide how much money you want to spend on it to pick up 10 barrels of fresh water in inverted commas. Vankus, what are you doing on the Skywell with Leslie? You made breakfast, I think, for the captain and Aksanim.
Yeah, so Leslie and I were in the kitchen cooking, and that's where I break the news to her that we're going on a date. We're going to the circus in Hightower, and it's going to be great. She's going to love it.
She is
Already
always,
lying.
whatever it is that you want to do, she's eager to do that because she knows it will be exciting. She does pause in mid sentence, and she looks at you very earnestly, and she says, "Are you going to be cutting out my heart at this circus?"
Why on earth would I would do that? Besides, you only cut out the hearts of virgins. You taught me that.
Yes, but I don't know your ways. You might not want to use virgins, or maybe there is a ritual to unvirgin. I don't know. But circus sounds very fun.
There would definitely be no cutting out of the hearts. And Barnabas would definitely be against that. He would jump out of a ship 400 feet in the air with a 50-foot rope if he even thought someone was going to cut his heart out.
Yes, this is true. We have seen him do this before. Yes.
But
Okay.
no, there's a woman there, and she's got this gemstone in her chest, like Valentine and Donkey. Scratches. We need to investigate this, but I think the circus will be a lot of fun.
Excellent, then, she says as she sort of starts handing out bacon and eggs and things to the captain and Atnim Kazim, who are very eager. The captain looks at you. If we're going to... Where are we going exactly? This circus?
Hightower.
You mean Hightown?
Yeah, yeah.
Hightown?
I think so. It was hard. It was hard to make out the writing on the pamphlet. It was smudged.
Hightown is very dangerous. No laws or anything like that. But it is very good trading for water. So I am just going to go and have a montage quickly and come back with some water.
That's perfect, Captain.
He disappears and has his own montage where he buys water. So inside that chest, as was requested information, there is a grand sum of 580 gold pieces, which will buy you approximately 5 barrels with 80 gold change at 100 gold a barrel.
It'd be 579.
Right, 579 because the gold has already been spent. Yes.
Yes.
Well, given.
Yeah. So how many barrels can I buy with that? Can
5 barrels.
Okay, cool.
These are not little barrels.
Yeah, and it's 100 gold a barrel.
Are proper barrels.
Yeah.
Bro, if you don't make our money back,
First of all, it's my money. I stole
money.
this chest. You get fucked.
Morals.
Sorry,
or
sponsors.
I stole.
I'm just saying there might be a water bubble. Okay, we don't know.
Being a teacher doesn't pay well.
Can I go by how much bread can I get with 1 gold, and also a chicken because she wants eggs?
A live chicken?
Mm-hmm.
A live chicken will cost you 8 silver, which leaves you with 2 silver, which will get you 4 loaves of bread. Proper loaves of bread.
That's how you do it,
Done.
Jacob.
So 4 loaves of bread and a chicken.
You should just buy the ingredients. Leslie will cook that shit right up.
That's what the chicken is the ingredient. It gives you eggs. And then you beat them little stale bread.
All right, that's what you're doing.
Thought this through.
There's a plan in action. I'm not sure it's a great one, but it's a plan. Barnabas, do you have any montages that you need to get through, or are you going to go back to the Skywell?
Mostly he is yelling at
Or are you going to
dogs.
unmute yourself at any point?
I unmuted for the stream. Thank you very much. There's too many damn mute buttons here. Ultimately, he's going to be dealing with dogs screaming.
Okay.
But he's going to have a montage of surprisingly being a little sullen and less excited about their new venture here. He's kind of dealing with what it means to be in a dream where you are not being carried away on the wings of Brax, and instead walking solemnly and alone. And so he's kind of contemplating and dealing with those feelings that he's having for the first time.
Absolutely, for the first time. And so after several hours of bartering, purchasing, and otherwise contemplating, you manage to make your way back to the Skywell. I assume your meeting point. The barrels of water are loaded up onto the Skywell, along with the barrels that the captain has loaded up, and he eyes your 5 barrels, and he eyes his 3 barrels, and he goes, I don't think I'm charging you enough for the transportation, huh?
You're not charging us anything. Fame, fortune, glory. We discussed this. Made written in the annals of
we
time.
saved your life.
Yeah.
So,
Life debt, etc.
Also free food
mm-hmm.
or chef.
All right. We're going to Hightown, yes?
Perfect.
What your hell is your name? Aknim Kasim. We're going Hightown. Make it so. He says as he waddles over to the back. Now, where's my bacon?
What, guy? As we travel here, what? So, like, what additional threats are there in the sky portion of the travel portion? Like, I get that it's maybe a dangerous place when we get there, but are there like other types of raiders and stuff that are common, or is there anything that we should be worried about in transit?
In the Solosphere, the principal fear of overexposure to the sun is a major risk. So inexperienced sailors often will just burn to a crisp because they don't take proper precautions. So hence the nest actually wasn't a bad idea to have constructed a tarpaulin and created a bit of a sunshade. Primarily, whilst you're sailing through the territory controlled by the alliance of the Sa'akun Adwa, which is most of the territory that you're in, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Okay. But if you take a direct course straight south, half of your journey is going to be in what they call free space. And then you run the risk of potentially being raided by orcs who pirate that entire territory. Otherwise, there are very few natural predators that float around. There are rumors of these large floating schools of almost like airborne jellyfish, which can cause problems, but they're few and far between, and skywells feed on them anyway. So on a skywell, you're not likely to
Is there any way that we can get Aknar Kazim, or whatever his name is, to go away from the direct route that would cause us to be raided by orcs?
Yes, you can, instead of doing a straight line, you can do a sea curve where basically you're sailing past Kesh Hadar and sort of coming around. It will add an extra 3 days to your already 5-day journey, though.
I mean, without doing this in character, is that what you guys want to do? You guys want to go the long way?
There's a
long way, safe way. It's your choice. I beg your pardon?
So there's a dangerous way that's shorter.
By 3 days.
I mean, have you never read Little Red Riding Hood?
How long is it in total? It's 5 days if you go straight, 8 days if you follow.
I think that we are good fighters, and we could survive going through something more dangerous. The quicker we get there, the better.
I have never been one to shy away from a challenge. I am merely concerned for our passengers. The unvirgin Leslie and our pilot.
She can hide. We'll be fine. We can protect her.
You can't just call people that.
Jinx walks onto the ship by herself after trying to hunt down a chicken, and comes back after kind of listening, waiting at the entrance there, and just, I think that we have some good luck now on our side. We could probably be on the safe side, though, because we have precious cargo now. And she has a little makeshift leash around a chicken that she now has under her arm.
Put the chicken with Leslie, keep them below deck, and we'll be fine.
Exactly.
What's the worst that we could get attacked by? Jellyfish?
Orcs.
The whale will eat them. I will eliminate all the orcs.
They eat us.
If we can go a route where we can kill orcs, I would want to go that route.
I am also in the camp of not getting eaten by orcs.
You know, perhaps it would be wise to eliminate some of the threats to some of the other caravans. It's what a hero might do.
I agree with Barnabas.
Captain, which way would you normally go?
The captain's going to want to go the way that's safest.
I am with Valentin on this one. Yes, the orcs we're not likely to find orcs. It is very rare to encounter them out in the free space, but it is safer to go via Menkesh Hadar anyway. But being a hero does potentially sound like a good thing. Yes.
Then it is settled.
How do the orc raiders get at the Skywell anyway? Orcs don't fly naturally.
Giant harpoons.
Oh,
harpoons! Yes, fired from these dirigible balloons that they fly in.
The Skywell is a gentle creature. I would hate to see it harpooned.
Yes, it is very messy, especially when it's going down.
Valentin will like
the Skywell safe.
It's like sitting there thinking about what to say, and then he kind of squints and then looks at everybody and says, "You will all be heroes for defeating such evil. Many will see your deeds, and if we defeat these things, it will be good for our reputation."
Yeah,
not enticing.
That won't help the Skywell, and
the Skywell would be fine.
I don't know. Harpoons are nasty.
I think maybe being heroes is a good idea.
All right, you're the captain, but if the Skywell gets harpooned,
we shall fly straight like an arrow there. Then
I go over
very
to
upset.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I say, "Venkus, I will not let this beautiful creature get harpooned."
Will you put yourself between it and the harpoon?
If it's orcs, yes.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Perhaps not the first harpoon,
you will
but
have
surely
to
the
hold
second.
The harpoons will be fired from below, so he will have to hold
I will not intentionally jump in front of a harpoon because it won't do anything logically. But I will do my best.
We'll be fine. We have
hurt.
Plenty of rope, Valentin.
I'm not going to jump off the whale. I'll pull it out and heal it.
Wait a minute.
Barnabas is convinced that they're going to find orcs underneath, and he is going to secure himself a rope somewhere and secure the rest of the other end of the rope around his waist, just in case that he is needed for some heroics. We're going to make the rope 20 feet. That's about as long, I think, to get below. I don't want to be dangling 400 feet below, but yeah, we'll do that just in case.
Those are the preparations you're making, Draxus.
What did someone else come on board the ship? The man, tall, lanky, rather useless, bookish type. Literally a bookish type.
Akeem, what's his name? I got it written down here. Al-Kazim, right?
That sounds right. Did he show up?
There was a beggar who came around trying to put books on this ship. I sent
That's the one.
him away.
Wait, where did you send him?
Away. That is literally what I said to him. I said, go away.
And what did he do?
He went away.
You didn't see which way he went. Do we need to find this man?
What if I present you with another option? That this beggar was actually a book writer and salesman, and we can
the Scholastic Book Fair.
The Scholastic Welfare, yes. And instead of having just beans, you can also sell books and have the author for more scholarly endeavors, et cetera, vis-a-vis sales.
Aknem Kasim, I told you not to send him away. You stupid, he says, and he clouts him. You can never get good help these days. He was the one who sent him away, not me. As a matter of fact, I will go find this man, for I know where away is. It's a small tavern just around the corner. So I will be back, he says, as he disappears off the skywall.
Another montage.
Another montage happens. He returns with Al-Kazim, who is completely drunk and has sold some books for alcohol. He looks at the five of you and raises what he thinks is a glass, but it's actually a copy of Lindel's Tome of Curious and Strange Fungal Infections for the Lower Skywell, and then sort of wanders off. Crates get loaded up of his books onto the whale itself. And then the captain says, so are we going now?
That's all I got.
Indeed, yes. Let's make haste.
I think Jenks is going to bring all the flowers and everything that she had down to Leslie, as well as a chicken.
She's grateful for the flowers. That you want her to kill the chicken? We are going to cut out its heart?
No. We need to have a talk later. I think that you give people a bad vibe when you talk about cutting out hearts. And I like where mine is. And she just kind of shakes the chicken. I think she would agree. So maybe we don't. And we just have eggs every day.
You know, I've eaten chicken heart before. It's delicious.
You're not helping, Barnabas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like setting up a rope.
He look over, he's just tying up. He's just eavesdropping. He's just eavesdropping because you brought a chicken on board. That's
right. He's excited. So slowly, Leslie seems to comprehend and then helps you sort of set up a space for what the name of the chicken. What is the chicken's name?
I was just about to ask that.
Ransack. Son of Mario Sack.
It is nice, yes. I would have gone with Bethany myself, but yes, Ransack.
Put him in a closet because Ransack, he's aptly named.
God damn it! We have Mario Sack characters in our games too. He's just spreading everywhere. It's like a legend now.
Man spreading everywhere.
Yeah.
So the skywell starts to wend its ways southwards, sailing through the great open space that is filled with nothing but clouds and your thoughts as you contemplate the universe.
Guy, Barnabas is not very smart, but he is wise.
Right.
Relatively. And he has been sunburned before. People might not know this about him, but his white pasty skin burns very easily. So he's a heavy sunblock kind of guy, if you get my drift. So he's going to be trying to beg, borrow, and steal anything he can, and look over at how Jinx has all of her bags, like how she's wearing her sacks of flour. And he's going to come over and like ask you for help, Jinx, on like trying to set a few extra ones over, like around his arms and his legs, and like he's going to totally like.
Are you trying to protect your skin?
I need your help to sack up, really, is what I'm saying.
All right. Vankus, you can give me a nature check, please.
Can I makeshift something for him? Like-
Sure, absolutely. There are several sacks of beans which are not worth very much. Vankus, you realize that the flowers that Jenks gave to Leslie are actually a form of aloe, which grows almost everywhere up here. And that if you apply the sap of those aloes to the skin of everybody on the vessel, it will protect them from the sun.
So I will make sure to use those flowers and protect Leslie's skin. And and Vankus has his own way of protecting his skin. It's called covering it.
With sacks.
All right. So Barnabas and Vankus get sacked as they cover themselves up. Draxus, the sun doesn't mean anything to you. You're fine.
Absolutely. Totally fine.
Absolutely. And Valentine, are you taking cover under the tarpaulin, or are you?
I go down. Who's got aloe? Who's got that? Do I know who has that?
If you want to rub up against his wife, she has some on.
Lube me up.
Hey,
Not like that.
Hey, Venkus, I need to scout and make sure that we aren't attacked by any orcs. Can I get some of that aloe?
You know about aloe?
Yes.
Yeah, you basically, because it's rather, it doesn't look very good. This is actually in real life, by the way. You can actually use aloe to protect yourself from the sun, but make sure it's the right aloe, otherwise you'll break out in a rash and die horribly. But yeah, it's a thing. It's either save from the sun or death.
This is South African knowledge that we don't have here in America.
South African knowledge, right? Yes, it's a clear, slimy-like substance that comes out of the leaves. Valentine, you're gonna have to give me a perception check, please. Oh wow, a natural
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
Perception. Gosh, I'm not too good at that one.
You have a passive perception of like 50,000, don't you?
It's 50.
23. Yeah, you saw Vankus rubbing this white, this clear sticky substance all over his wife, and she seemed to be enjoying it.
Hey, Venkus, can
Come
I
again?
also get some white sticky substance on my skin as well?
Nope, once is enough.
Valentine, I like you very much, but not in that way. And I'll give you some of the extra plants.
All right, you.
A true friend.
Maybe Draxus will help
We're saving him to sacrifice.
As I'm putting it on, I look at Venkus and I say, if you are, can you just be an animal and not get sunburned?
I can only
If
maintain.
you are transformed into, let's say, something with skin. I
A
don't
lemur.
know.
Camel.
A lemur.
It's a monkey.
And you get sunburned, and you turn back into yourself. Are you still sunburned?
Of course, I would still be sunburned, but I can't. I can only maintain those animal shapes for a limited time.
How long?
Couple hours.
Well, you get stuck as one if you maintain it too long.
No, it just kind of wears off. The nature spirits are kind, but
There was a story of
remember-
Tobias when I was a child that
When you
happened to.
If you were to turn into like a squirrel, do you remember that you're human, or are you just like, I'm a squirrel now?
no, I maintain my mind.
That's very fascinating. What is the strangest animal it is to be in the body of?
The spiders are kind of weird.
Hmm.
They have extra sensory. Snakes too, because their taste, like they taste the air the way we smell it. It's odd.
Very interesting. Where did you learn to do this?
So the conversation continues. The psychology behind.
Never met a druid before. He's fascinating.
And for the next 3 days, the sky will slowly make her way southwards. What you begin to realize is that although you haven't had much experience on the sky world before, that after day 2, it's just the same thing. Great big expanses of blue stretching away in all directions. And the most exciting part of the day is seeing clouds move in a rather unusual way or creating rather bizarre shapes. But even that gets tiresome after a while. as the sun is about to set on the third day, however, and everyone is sort of milling around doing their thing. Draxus, are you doing anything specific?
He would be researching and speaking with the book writer that I can't remember his name.
Al-Qasim? All right.
Al-Qasim, yes. He would be speaking with Al-Qasim because he found the book. I think he would even tell Al-Qasim that he found the book that was stolen from him, and he'd be using Al-Qasim's knowledge to try to go through this book and marry it with what he thinks is happening.
All right. Perfect. Give me an intelligence saving throw, if you please.
Saving throw? Got it.
Yep.
That's clearly boding well.
14.
And that's the captain, so that's the wrong one. All right, 14. Okay, so you're starting to go through this thing. It's getting a bit complicated in terms of the requirements that seem to be going into this device. But from what you gathered by the end of the third day is that the thing that this book builds is legendary because, as far as you can understand it, this only ever gets done once every few thousand years. So it's an incredibly rare event. And the book must have been written just after the Sundering because it talks about using the core of the planet to fashion this device. It also seems like the book is saying that if you are in this space, there is a little bit of pressure to actually make it happen, because if it doesn't happen, the book talks about the end times being brought upon the planet and the victory of oblivion over life, basically. It's a very small little subnote at the bottom of the page. It's like, oh, and by the way, if you don't finish building this, it's the end of the world and the universe.
Oh, by the way, the end world's just
by the way,
the world ends. Just let you know.
Correct, because whoever wrote the book was obviously more interested in the device that was being designed than the ramifications and the outcomes of said device.
Right.
Correct.
Is Draxus still reading to us like he said he would?
Did he say he was gonna? Did I say I was gonna read to you on the boat?
No. We had the donkey reading to us.
No, I sat next to him at the workstation. I was like, "Are you going to read the rest to me then? Because you're going to take the book away." And he said, "Yeah."
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, if you're there, but he doesn't come find you. He just sits down to read, and if you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't.
It's okay. He's probably already in there eating bread and getting crumbs all over your bed sheets.
Perfect.
All right. So that's what you're doing. However, at the end of the third day, the sun is busy painting out this disgustingly horrid pink sunset, which would normally be picturesque and beautiful and stunning and cost a fortune to see. But it does it every day, so it really doesn't care to charge. And there are some shapes which, Valentine, you see before anybody else. And it was just a casual glance around. You were just looking. And the next minute, you realize that at first you thought it was just chunks of rock, because there are lots of chunks of rock that float around every now and again. Usually they don't rise and lower, though. They're fairly stable in their orbits, unless they kind of bash into each other, and then all hell breaks loose. But these four objects, at first you dismissed as islands. Then you start to see that they are actually rising up. And as the last few rays of light are shining out, you can see that they are these very hodgepodge constructed balloons, which are very slowly and very silently drifting up towards the...
Do I recognize the balloons at all? Having
fought orcs?
Fighting orcs? I fire immediately into the balloons.
What you realize is that the balloons are usually armored. So unless you're firing ballista bolts into those balloons, arrows will have fairly little.
Then I want to get as close as I can to see inside the carriage of the balloon. If I can, as soon as I get a point to, I can see pretty damn far. But my longbow has a range of 600 feet
Correct.
Total.
Yes.
That's at disadvantage, though. So as soon as they're within 600 feet, I'm going to fire. Wait, it might not be 600 feet. It might actually... it's not, because I'm cool and I have the sharpshooter feat. 1,200 feet.
Holy shit. Is the long range, that's disadvantage though, isn't it?
That's
It is
disadvantage.
Disadvantage, correct.
But I can like hold the wind, point it like way this way, and the arrow will just.
You will curve that arrow. Absolutely. So,
All right.
Like you're killing another Stark child. I got it.
Yes. Yay! Good reference. Okay, sorry. Can I fire?
you can indeed. You look out, and the balloons themselves have these. Oh no, it's gone out of my head. Anyway, they have this sort of football shaped shape.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like
The word's gone out of your head.
Called?
Exactly. Nonetheless, there's a word for it. It's gone. It's gone.
Like a zeppelin.
500 XP for anyone who remembers the name of that shape. Now, it's got a very specific name. The
name
shape.
of the what?
The jade.
The name of a football.
We didn't use XP.
It's fine.
It's the Jade Mario sack. I rewrote it down.
Jade Mario sack.
It was the Jade something. Why do I have so many notes for different games in one
No,
place?
There's a specific name for the geometrical shape that this thing is. It's a squozen sphere. It's got a specific name. Anyway.
Prolate spheroid.
I beg your pardon, what?
A prolate spheroid.
There we go. 500 experience points to you.
You looked it up, didn't you?
We milestone.
Google. We're all on the internet.
Spherical shape.
Nonetheless, it's the prolate spheroid shape. But a dirigible balloon is slowly making its way up to you. Hanging underneath it from chains, because they're not idiots, they've done this before, is this very square box-like shape. You know from your experience with fighting the orcs, although you weren't ever on a skywell, they usually drop down on top of you, is their usual mode is to fly above and then just detach the chains and have this big box drop down into the middle of the enemy. And it doubles up as a mini tower defense wall structure for them to then attack from behind that.
Do they have harpoons?
It certainly looks like on top of the box, and this is something that you can shoot at in this semicircular metal shielded space. There is this massive ballista, and you can see that each ballista has 4 orcs, and they're busy loading these large harpoons into the ballista.
How many orcs are on the ballistas?
Each ballista has there's 4 orcs per ballista, and there are 4 balloons, so there's 4 ballista in total.
Okay, so on one that's probably the closest, is there a point I could hit on it that could break the ballista? Jamming the arrow in there somewhere.
Yes, okay. I will let you do that. You are a military man, so you know how they work. If you could somehow get the arrow to land in the drive mechanism, the cranking mechanism, you possibly could cause them some grief.
All right, we're gonna fucking try this shit.
Do you tell anybody else of this, or
this is his knee-jerk reaction? So I mean, because he's fucking cool. This happens in like a second. He sees it, he goes, he fires, trying to hit that one thing, and then as soon as that's over, he's gonna get everybody's attention.
All right, make your attack. Everyone else is quietly discussing the virtues of
I'm assuming that I'm on the other side, not paying attention to this side, standing stoically with all these bags all over me, and a rope tied around my waist, ready to jump off.
Yeah, you kind of got this rope tied around your waist, and then this arrow lands in the deck next to you.
Everybody, get up here! We're being attacked.
What you realize, Valentine, when you were firing at the orcs, is in order for them to be able to gain any kind of speed in these balloons, they often use the zephyr currents of the air to find these tunnels of hot air, which is just pushing them upwards. So as you fire your arrow at them, your arrow sailed out, caught one of these zephyrs, and then just shot upwards. As that's what they are rising in as well.
I'm yelling. I'm letting everybody know what the fuck's going on.
Oh yeah, we're ripping to go.
Guy, can I do one more thing? It doesn't necessarily require a roll. I want to fire a random arrow, not at anything, to see if this is going to totally fuck up all of my attacks. Like, is it like, could I use the wind, or is it going to be like, fire, and it's just gone?
No, you could use the wind. You could absolutely.
Right.
So what you do, you aim underneath them, and then you watch it as the arrow would then shoot upwards.
Perfect. Whenever I can, I'm going to keep firing.
Correct. All right, I'm just going to go into initiative, although the orcs are going to take some time to get here. Let me just open up the whale map, and I'll share it with everybody.
So who's got ranged weapons? Cool.
I'm not throwing Bobo.
I mean, I could throw the chicken, but I'd prefer not to.
I believe I got the whale map saved.
1 second here, guys.
Yep.
I'll get you going on stream.
All right, so you got the whale map. I'm just going to try and populate people in it. I'm just going to
Yep. Never mind. So Dave is right. I was wrong about the feet. The feet doesn't double the distance, and when I can get in my shot, it just makes it so that my long range doesn't have disadvantage.
Aha.
Why did I think that? I felt like I've played like that before, but I'm wrong.
I just spun someone's character a lot before I realized why my map wasn't moving. Sorry, whoever I made really nauseous.
Whoa.
It was like 3 scrolls before I realized.
All right. So, yes, the initiative is set. Vankus, are you doing anything? You hear the call that orcs are approaching. I can't believe I rolled a 1 on that D10, I must admit.
How far away are they?
At the moment, they are about 1,000 feet away, give or take. But they are ascending quite quickly. The moment that Captain Sirac sees them, he shouts out, damn!
Damn is right, sir.
How many balloons do we see?
4.
4. Okay. I'm going to ready heat metal to once we get within much closer than we are.
Oh, nasty.
Nice.
Okay.
Good.
Valentin?
I just want to let you know in the combat tracker it currently says I have 19 hit points. I have 24.
It does?
And I tried to change out my character sheet and it didn't do anything. So.
Oh yeah, can you full rest us, guy?
I did.
Rest me, fat goblin.
I'm also down. I'm also down hit points.
You're down hit points?
Yeah, like I didn't get rested. I don't know why.
I did the thing with the thing.
There, now
It worked for me.
Rest. Long rest.
Nope, I'll change it.
What side are they on?
Currently, the balloons are starting to break apart, going 2 to the left and 2 to the right on either side of the way.
North. So north, south.
North and south, yes.
All right. Can I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 over here?
Sure.
And then they're like thousands of feet away.
Yes, but for sake of not waiting for 400 years for them to arrive,
Yeah.
you're free to move wherever you want to on this vessel whilst they are moving close.
I'm gonna get as close as I can.
What are the what are the obvious strategies that they will employ here? Like as they're getting closer, that we can look over.
I'm going to yell to everybody, and I'll say they're going to drop down onto the ship. They're likely going to use the harpoons. Attack the ones using the harpoons. Make sure they can't get onto the ship.
Yes. So what he says is correct. Most likely what they'll do is they'll fire the harpoons into the whale itself, not necessarily to kill the whale, just to secure themselves to it. And then they will use those. So they'll fire into the whale so that it can't get away. They'll probably rise above it, above the whale, and then we'll drop those crates that are hanging really onto those balloons. They will drop those crates onto the deck of the whale, and then they will burst out from those metal crates.
Okay. As they get closer, Guy, whatever area they are in, I want to try to okay, they're drifting towards the head or the side or whatever. I want to drift over wherever I think that the harpoons are going in. Obviously,
sure.
That's what I want to do with a big ass sword, ready to cut the ropes. That will be my actions.
All right, perfect, not a problem. That's Barnabas Draxus.
They're still very far away, right? 1,000 yards.
Correct. 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. Very
God,
good.
don't use yards. I don't know how far that is.
Multiply times 3.
About 900 feet.
Offensive.
Man, I don't have anything that goes that far. Yeah, I guess he's going to hold his action. Like there's nothing he can do that far away.
Right.
Actually, you know what? He's going to shout to the captain. I know there's the guy on the reins, but where's the captain?
Captain Serac.
Yeah.
Captain Serac is...
I would assume he's near where we are.
Yes, he's next to the water trough.
Oh, okay.
Ping in Fantasy Grounds?
He's there. He's this little token that's moving around.
Gotcha. Yeah, Draxus is going to move down that way and shout to him and say, "What weapons do you have to employ?"
Cunning and speed.
Valentine will actually laugh like, "That's good, good."
We need to invent depth charges. I definitely give Valentine a dirty look when he's explaining the orc tactics.
So
I know this would help.
the balloons are rising up to us, right?
Correct.
Momentarily taken aback by that snap answer. Draxus looks over to the captain. He says, "Then, in that case, ram the balloons."
That's good. That is a good idea.
If they can't get above us, they can't attack us.
Also, it will limit us in approximation, or whatever the word is. It's like turning your body in a fist fight.
I don't know what the hell you're saying, but...
He looks at you. Ram the balloons?
Yes, they attack from above. If they can't get above us, they can't attack us. You can at least take out 2 of them there side by side.
Okay. Ram the balloons. he then sort of looks at you. You should probably tie yourself down, he says as he rushes over to grab some of the rope. He's like, "Who cut this rope in half?"
Not a problem. I'm already tied. I'm already tied down.
I'm prepared.
Jenks is gonna run like this back towards like a way to get down below and just throw the chicken down there and shut whatever door there is.
I want to look at Venkus. Right. I'm gonna say, Venkus, can you turn into like a giant bird?
I cannot. I have not learned the way of the feathered creatures yet.
Damn. Well, okay. Continue.
Yeah, Draxus ties himself.
We could have been cool, but we're not high enough level.
He ties himself down.
We're not cool. All right, so that's what's going to start happening is that Sartoon is going to be directed to ramming speed. At Nim Kasim, he seems to well, let's just see what he does. Does he work this out? No, he thinks it's a fantastic idea. And from up front on the whale, you just hear him shouting, "Imshi, Imshi, Imshi," as he's sort of whacking the reins up and down on the back of Sartoon's head. And the whale, Bankus, you realize this more than anything else because you've been with her before. She realizes that she's being told to ram into these balloons, and that makes her excited. So
It's like, yes.
her fins kind of fold back a little bit, and immediately you all get the sensation of your stomachs rising up as gravity just disappears, as 300 tons of Skywell just starts plunging down towards these balloons.
Jenks is gonna get in that tub.
You get in the hot tub, you watch as the water goes from being level, it suddenly has a 30-degree incline to it as everything just starts to plunge straight down towards these orcs. I just need to bring up the orc captain's stats quickly. I have them right here. I just wanted to see what he's going to do.
I just hope that over on this other screen where all of guys' notes are, it just says like giant whale stats.
Yes. Okay. So that's what's happening as she starts to plunge towards these 2 balloons, and you can see that because they had to rise on these columns of hot air, they are clustered fairly close together. It's also a safety device. The gunners on the harpoons, the one set of gunners are currently. They're busy hand cranking. They have these large rotor blades on the sides of the balloon to try and have a little bit of navigation. They are frantically turning this crankshaft to get this propeller blade to move, to try and move away out of the way. the other balloon, the one on the ballista, is standing there, and he looks like he's pointing, getting ready to fire the harpoon at the whale. So he's going to fire this harpoon, and he gets a 14. And the Skywell stats, Sartoon's armor class, the harpoon launches out of this balloon and sails straight towards the whale. But because of her dive, the harpoon just sails straight over the top of her, kind of passes over you guys.
Yes.
And you can see the rope busy uncoiling itself quite frantically as it sails past and away out into the distance. Because you were waiting for this, Barnabas, do you want to cut that rope as it's sort of sailing overhead? Because it didn't miss by much. It's probably only a foot above you, so you can just sort of slash out if you like.
No. I mean, is he going to hit? It's not going to hit, and it's going to totally miss and whiff, right?
It's gonna hit
It will totally miss, but what you realize is that because it was fired at the whale, it will miss, but then gravity is going to pull it down, so that cable might still end up lying across the deck.
Oh, hell no. Let's cut that mother. What do you need from me, buddy?
I just need you to make me an attack roll, please.
When the
rolls.
harpoon sails by, Valentine's like sweating and like so nervously. Not because he's afraid of the whale getting harpooned. He's afraid of Venkus. He's like, please, oh coach.
Please don't hit the whale.
I will totally be a snake in your boot.
Okay, because I knew what Guy was asking, and I just imagined that Cody would take the chance to cut it and grab the rope and just
Almost. I
towards
thought
the
about
other
it.
balloon, and I was like, no.
I thought about it really hard. But no.
You splash at that at the cable. It's quite a heavy duty rope, but your blade just slices through it fairly cleanly.
Not today, villains! Not today! That's all I got.
That's all you got. Okay, who has tied themselves down because Sartoon is about to slam into these?
Did I have time?
Yeah, you did. You. I mean, it's happening relatively quickly, as in the Titanic sank relatively quickly. So, as Sartoon is diving down, you've probably got about 15 seconds or so to grab some rope. And
How far away are they at this point?
At this point, they're about 600 feet. Next round, they'll be at impact.
Okay. Is there a rope still dangling there from the harpoon?
Yes.
Is it on the ship?
It's not on the ship. It's still, well, it was being pulled out. Actually, no, it is on the ship because the moment Cody cuts it, it loses the pull of the harpoon. So then it sort of drops dead and it's now starting to slide down. There's some weird physics going on because the whale's diving as well.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Valentine's going to jump onto the rope. And
You're going to grab the rope.
it's like the whale starting to go down, the rope hits it, and it's like cut, and it's like, I'm assuming like snaking off of it. He's going to grab onto it and like put it around his arm and get ready to just fall and sink, and he's going to try and climb it up.
Okay.
Good thing you're a melee character.
I'm both. I'm a fighter.
Who's Jinx? She's going to hide in the hot tub.
Jinx, you're in the hot tub.
She got like a piece of rope that was tied down to the ship and just brought it over and sat back in the hot tub.
Back in the hot tub?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
While they're yelling and pointing at us, she's yelling and pointing at them. That's it.
All right, Vankus?
I tied off.
All
around
right.
my feet, though. Around my foot, not around the waist.
All right, around your feet. Okay, so I'm going to get somebody else to roll this because then it's not my fault. So can someone please give me a dexterity check? You have a +0 to your modifier. This is for Sartoon to impact into the ship. It's difficult when you weigh 300 tons to hit a very small point in open space. But that is what Sartoon is trying to do. So any one of you can give me...
Venkus, do it.
All right. The dice hate me, though, so just warning you.
Come on, buddy.
Wasn't bad.
There we go. 13. Okay, then I'm going to get somebody to give me the Orcs saving throw. You have +1 to this roll, so anyone can make
I'll
it.
give it just a D20.
Just a D20.
I knew I was due. I knew I was due.
The orc ballista crew are standing there. They're busy frantically reloading, and then they get hit by 300 tons of skywell traveling at 30 knots around, give or take.
What does that mean, Art?
It's a lot.
Okay.
It's bad to drink and drive skywells at the same time, so don't do that. It slams into the one balloon, which immediately explodes in flame and fire, because the stuff they use in their balloons to keep them airborne is not just oxygen. And when metal is ripped upon metal, sparks fly. So there is this gigantic ball of fire that washes over the ship. Would all of you please give me dexterity saving throws, except for you, Jenks, as you just see fire coming up towards you, and you just kind of submerge below the waterline and watch as this pretty orange glow plays across
She goes,
top.
nope, and just holds her breath.
Hey, guy,
Brax
question
is-
is the one I'm about to go onto, is it just exploded?
No, that's the other one. That's
Okay, great.
the other one. They were cranking the propeller blades, so they've managed to get away.
All right.
Just in time. Valentine, you're good. Draxus is good. Vankus, you take fire damage. Barnabas, apparently the two of you looked at Vankus, you both screamed and fire just washed over you somehow. That's what happened. So
It was my sax.
it was your.
It was my
That's right. That's right. That's right.
What was your sax?
You both take 7 points of damage as the flame sort of washes over you. I'm going to do this real quick. The captain is running around screaming. Nim Kasim is running around screaming, I should say, that he is on fire.
I don't know why that's so funny. He's just like, ah!
The captain is running around shouting, I am not hero. I am not hero. Put me out, put me out, put me out. And Jenks, you hear this running sound as feet run over the deck, coming closer and closer towards you. And suddenly there's a captain sizzling and sitting down next to you in the hot tub. He kind of looks over at you. That's where we are.
Does he have any like hair on fire that I can just like?
You do that. He looks over. Oh, thank you very, very much. He just submerges up to just above his nose and blows bubbles. The Skywell herself, she doesn't care about the damage. I'm just going to load it up here quickly onto Barnabas. Oh, you guys have put your damage in. Perfect. Okay. That is the end result of it. The rope, Valentine, now starts to pull upwards because she shot down.
Okay.
The orcish one balloon that fired its harpoon is still going up because that was their original plan. They did not expect a sudden dive.
Okay.
So they're now almost above the skywell. The other two hot air balloons, by the way, are now so far away and above that you can see them also starting to hand crank those rotors to try and get themselves out of the rising column of air.
How
and
thick
to
is
start
this
lowering
rope?
down. It's about probably 5 centimeters in diameter. It's a heavy, heavy piece of hemp rope.
Okay. I'm gonna do. It's not my turn, but what I'm gonna do is just climb up it.
You're going to start climbing up it? Okay. So Saitun has acted. Nim Kasim has acted. Jenks, what are you doing? This ball of fire is washed over the deck. You can watch as bits of balloon and orc fall down into the terrasphere and beyond.
I think Jenks wants to. Can I give like moral support to Valen to give my just like an assist type deal, just kind of help him out, maybe cheer him on for Valentine. He's doing a great job.
Climb the rope.
No, she's going to cheer him on and give him some type of inspiration by just yelling at him. If there's no mechanical thing that happens, that's fine. But she's safe here, and she doesn't have any ranged attacks unless she finds beans and gets a slingshot. So that's where she's at right now.
I want to see that happen. All right, so you're busy cheering on Valentine to try and do better and climb faster. Give me a persuasion check. I like that idea.
Persuade me.
Yeah.
Be better. Why is this going?
Might help him a lot. He's used to getting orders yelled at him.
Yeah, but it comes out as I don't know what it comes out.
It's more criticism than anything.
The fuck? Doesn't even hear you.
Yeah.
Just an explosion.
All right, so that's what you're doing. Valentin, you're starting to climb up the rope. Give me an acrobatics or athletics check, please, as you start.
Ooh, like
climb.
I can choose?
Yes, you can, because either you're locking your feet around or you're just using your arms to pull yourself up.
I am Yoo-Hoo. That's an 8 in acrobatics.
8 in acrobatics. All right, you do have a rope, but you realize that it's not easy to haul yourself up this dangling rope. You're not making any progress.
Okay, cool. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, so you're still holding on. All right,
Yeah.
Draxus, you see the rope starting to go taut with Valentin hanging on the end of it. He looks like he's trying to climb up it, but yeah, apparently not very successfully.
How far away is this balloon now?
The balloon now is about 60 foot above you.
Above us. And how far is the rope from me? Like, am I able to jump on this rope?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I do jump on the rope, and I begin to climb the rope as well.
All right, give me an acrobatics or athletics check as you try and climb.
Alrighty.
Nope. Okay,
Just as good.
You're basically hugging Valentin as the two of you are trying to climb up this rope and not sure who's
You're
gonna
here
go
too?
first.
Yeah, I jumped up behind you.
Yeah.
Traxxas, you are far more braver than I assumed.
Barnabas?
How far away are they from being all the way up on this rope?
Very far. They haven't left the deck yet. They're still trying to figure out how to climb up the rope, as a matter of fact.
Okay, and how far away is the nearest balloon?
60 foot above you.
It's 60 feet?
Yeah.
Excellent. Do I have somebody? Can I see two of the orcs? Yeah.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can actually, because they're busy looking out over the sides, screaming and shouting at one another as the ship continues to ascend.
Excellent. I'm gonna look over at one of the orcs and go, "You should push him off." And push, I'm gonna use command to see if I can't command him to push one of the orcs down and have him drop 60 feet down below. And land in front of us so we can beat him up with his broken legs. So yeah.
Wisdom saving throw, am I correct?
Yes, DC 13.
DC 13. All right, there is his wisdom save. His command is to push, and normally that would be contrary to the character, but in this case, they're orcs. And he's like, "Oh, go fight him!" And he just pushes his companion over the railing. His companion screams and then plunges down to the deck to land next to you in a rather satisfying crunching, cracking sound. And his jaw just his jaw is open, his fangs are there, and drool and blood just sort of sprays out around you, Valentin.
This is everything I ever wanted.
As this orc impacts next to you. The one that pushed him looks over and he kind of shakes his head.
I give him a thumbs up.
See him very nervously looking at the rest of his companions to see if they saw what he did. And they apparently did not, so he kind of relaxes and then he looks down at you and he kind of gives you a thumbs up.
I thought it would be funnier if they saw him and they fucking pushed him off. But that's just as good.
You just got him a promotion. That guy was his boss.
There we go. All right, so that's what you've seen. Vankus.
All right. So we have one balloon exploded, one balloon directly above us. Where are the other two balloons?
The other two balloons are now about 300 foot off in that direction and ascending, and still ascending. You guys are still going down.
All right. I will cast heat metal on the balloon.
Are you going to cast it on the balloon itself or the metal crate hanging below the balloon, which you know will have orcs in it?
No, I want to cast it on the metal plates on the balloon, the armor.
On the actual balloon itself. All right.
And then, as a bonus action, I will then change into a giant spider and I'm just going to hang from the bottom of the rope. I have a climb speed too hard.
Right. So whilst everyone else is sort of clustering around this rope, you throw a heat metal onto this thing. How much damage does heat metal do? Is it a D10?
It's a lot.
It's I want to say it's like 2d8. It is 2d8 fire damage.
2d8 fire damage. Okay, roll the damage for your heat metal.
So that's
7 points. All right.
And I am concentrating on it.
Gotcha. There is a satisfying glow that starts to come from one of the plates that's sitting directly on the balloon that you can see. Then you turn into a giant spider.
Yes, and that rope that I tied around my ankles just slides right off because there's no foot.
There's no ankles, right? Okay, so sure, absolutely. And you do your little web trick onto the bottom of the rope?
Yes, I'll climb on the rope and just like dangle there.
Okay, you're dangling. You are dangling. I'm going to add this orc to the initiative here so we can see what's happening. Satun is next up. She rather enjoyed diving into the balloon, but she did not enjoy the fire so much. So she's now going to start leveling out and is waiting for orders. But no one is giving her orders because both Aknim Kasim and Captain Surak are in the hot tub with Jenks. They were both on fire, so they're living out. The orc inside this hanging crate is now trying to decide what to do because this was not part of the plan. They've never had an exploding balloon because the Skywell flew through it. So he is busy cogitating and contemplating, and that is his result there. He decides that, you know what, the best thing to do would probably be to disengage. So from where you are on the Skywell itself, you can see that the orcs that are on the harpoon, of which the rope that you are busy holding, the three of you, the orcs that are on top all start to climb inside this metal crate. Valentine, you know that this is in preparation for that crate to drop. It's brave of them to drop 60 feet. Normally they wouldn't do it from that high because there's a risk of splat. But at the moment, they have a risk that you guys are going to get away.
Question: I'm climbing up the rope to one that's above the Skywell.
Correct.
So if
Correct.
I fall, I'll just fall into the Skywell.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
good.
Correct. There is the risk, of course, that when they disengage, that crate that you are going to be hanging underneath will put you between the crate and the Skywell.
Oh, okay. Shit.
So there is that very real risk. Atnim Kasim is now no longer on fire, so he is going to make a check to see if he's staying in the hot tub because it's much nicer there, and there's a potential for him to get some bread. Jenks.
So how far away is the closest one? The closest balloon?
60 feet.
60 feet. There's not really much she can do at this point.
You can maybe hold action to see if we can get some more orcs down here for you.
Can I try to yell at somebody else to make them not suck? No, she's just
How are you going to insult this time?
Probably Barnabas, because it's easy.
All right, give me a persuasion check. Let's see if
I'm doing this for your own good, Barnabas.
Everybody hates on Barnabas. And all he wants to do is love.
As a matter of fact, Jenks, what are you saying to encourage dear old Barnabas to fight better or climb better or...
Barnabas, I know your God has abandoned you, but we're still here. Please do the thing.
That's so not a good thing for him right now. He's really struggling.
He's really struggling with that.
It's the day-to-day thing, strapping on his boots, bingo and bongo. That it's just those little moments that he's really having issues with right now.
Hey, Barnabas, I know the gods aren't real, but keep on keeping on.
You have to survive for your shoes. Don't let them down.
There we go.
Bango and Bongo, whatever you named them.
I'm inspired.
You're inspired. Yeah, you get +1 on your next action to take because of these amazing speeches. Valentin, you're up next.
Yes, I am going to. They're about to drop, right?
That is definitely.
Is there like a mechanism, though, like a lever they got to pull to do that?
Yes, it's inside, and you'll see the chains popping out from the top of the box.
Okay. No, I'm gonna climb up to this thing.
You're going to try and climb up to it. Okay.
I'm gonna get on top of this vessel, if I can. What do I got to roll?
You got to give me your athletics or acrobatics check to climb up because you haven't actually left the deck of the sky.
Yeah, gotcha. So let's use some athletics. Fuck.
you start climbing up. It's really not as stable as you thought it was, and when you get to 30 foot above the skywall deck, you realize that if you miss the deck, you can see for almost infinity down into the very dark center of this planet. If you let go and you miss, you are going to fall for days before you hit the bottom. The legend is that you will die of starvation before you actually hit the core. It's not a nice way to die. So you get up 30 feet, and you've still got another 30 foot to go, which you can do. Yeah, well, that's exactly right. So you can.
I'm gonna risk it because I ain't afraid of no doom. Hey!
There you go. All right, so that one you climb up.
All right,
so
I know I can't.
On top of this crate.
I don't want to do anything else because I can't. Well, correct. I do, but I know I can't do anything else.
Gotcha.
Who's flying this thing?
At the moment, no one.
Okay.
So there is a propeller crankshaft that you would have access to. The orcs are not accustomed to being boarded whilst they are boarding someone else.
Yeah, well, they don't know me.
Draxus, Valentin has just shimmied up this rope and is now.
I'll peer over and I'll just be like, "Get up here! I'm going to take control of this thing."
Draxus sees you and he just hand over hand. Why is the only one I can tolerate an idiot? And he's slowly climbing. 13.
Yep, you start to make your way up. You're gonna dash to get to the last.
No, I'm gonna move halfway up, and then I'm gonna realize that I can use magic. And he's like, "Son of a bitch!" And he just evaporates and appears next to Valentin. He's like, "I've done it the entire time. Damn it!
Magic is so useful."
Yeah. Fortunately, that was only a bonus action. And he starts grabbing the crank, and I'm going to
God,
the crank. So yeah, he's going to turn the crank, assuming that Valentin planned to pilot this thing towards the other balloons.
Hang on, I'm a little out of breath.
That's where Draxus is turning this thing towards.
All right, so you're trying to do that. Give me a strength check, please, as you try and turn over this large rotary crank to get the propeller going.
Here you go. This doesn't matter. 1.
Yeah, you're like, okay, and
don't worry, I got this one.
Yeah.
It's a pull.
It's a pull.
Oh my God. Clip that shit. Clip it.
After giving yourself a hernia, you're out.
You see a scale pop.
All right, so that's what you're doing. Slowly starting to get this thing to start moving. And the captain emerges from the water and looks at you, Jenks. Are we still on fire?
The forecast is unclear. Maybe just stay here. I'm going to go see if I can help.
Okay.
The fire forecast is clear.
Sinks down below the water level again.
Not in California.
He's not interested. Barnabas.
Okay, so I want to kind of picture what's going on. I understand these guys are up top, and the other dudes have gotten in the basket. There's some kind of a mechanism that they're going to drop down, right?
Correct.
Okay, so are there any more orcs up top?
No.
They're all in the basket.
Yeah. So think of the basket as almost being like a cargo container. It's a big metal box, which they would normally drop down into the middle of troops and then they've got 2 hatches in the top, which would then open up. They've probably got little windows and things on
aerial Trojan horse.
Yeah, and then basically it just opens up and they can fire out of this metal crate. So they have a very strong base from which to launch their assault.
Okay. And it would lower down slowly like an elevator, right?
No. So normally what they would do is they would get to 30 foot above the ground and then they would drop the crate.
But 60 feet is not something that they would do.
Not normally, but they realize that, well, it looks like they've realized that if they don't do it now, they've lost this prize because the Skywell now is already starting to move away from them. They were heading upwards. She's going downwards, so it's a bit of a problem.
And I can't see any of them because they're all in the basket.
They're all inside, yes.
Well, then, I will hold action.
Running
I'm
around
trying to think if there's
like,
any... There's no orcs that I can command is basically what I was looking for, and I don't think that there are. We're not close enough to another ship to do that.
Correct. The other ones are 300-400 feet away now already. Correct.
I'm just gonna yell up. You roll this however you need to roll it. I'm gonna yell up, and I know that I can't see them because they're in it, but I'm hoping there's some slots and stuff that they would look out.
Sure.
I'm just gonna command. You should release that now. And see if maybe they will release the elevator, or open up a hatch and their friends would go tumbling out, which would also be hilarious for me. So I'm going to try to command
you have
again.
To see the person, right?
Yes, they have to hear me, and I'm assuming see. We'll assume that I have to be able to see
Pull the lever, Kronk.
So you're shouting,
but they're in the basket, so they might see me. I mean, I don't know.
Right. So you're shouting, "Drop now!"
But I can only use one word. The command is single. So as part of my sentence, I'll be like, "You should release that now," and release is where the magic happens.
All right. So he's definitely looking at you,
and it'll be a 13, and then when and if you give me anything for Jinx's thing.
Right, so it'll actually be a 14. All right. So here we go. And there you go. There we go. The first one worked.
He's like, I was going to do that anyway.
So, yeah, you're like, release. And from inside you hear, all right, we're getting there. Coming from above, as you manage to command the war chief to do it exactly what you have commanded him to do, and they're frantically they were debating whether they should do it or not, but now they just do it with the
enjoy the elevator ride, buddies.
of Draxus. The hot air balloon has started to move away from the Skywell. So they pull on this chain. Vankus, what are you doing? You watch as the chains pop out from either from the top of this basket. They sort of eject out.
Does it look like it's going to land on the well?
It looks like it's going to land on one of those the gaps. So if you look at the map of the Skywell, there's the main deck, and then it has the 2 supporting decks on either side. It looks like it's either going to hit the one side deck, or it's going to sail completely off to the left. It's a little bit uncertain at the moment.
What I would like to do is scurry 30 feet up.
Sure.
And then I want to web the far side of the basket, right? So when it drops, the one side will drop, but the other side will still be connected, and make it swing out away from the well.
That is smart thinking there. Okay, your web attack, it is an attack?
It is an attack, yes.
All right, hopefully you get this.
So what could possibly go wrong?
Well, the fact that Draxus and Valentin are on the top of that crate.
Shit.
I'm less worried about that.
Your wife would be so proud.
That is a 13 to hit the side of the basket.
With the same satisfaction that Spider-Man derives from spewing his web all over people, you hit the side of that crate absolutely perfectly. And you can sort of feel the tension take. So you're webbing the chain to the crate. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, whatever I see, hinge, chain, whatever I think would make it swing out away from the well. I want to protect the well.
Absolutely. That's what you do without a problem whatsoever. And that's going to take us to the top of the round. The crate now drops, or tries to anyway, as the 4 pins are coming out. Now, Draxus and Valentine, you are standing on top of this crate. And you hear Barnabas shouting, "Release!" And then inside an order, "Release!" And the locks on the 4 corners of this crate, if you like, suddenly open out. But then web just sprays all over one of them. So 3 of them let go, and the web holds for just a few seconds because the web is not strong enough to hold the entire crate. But for just a few seconds, the crate starts dropping. What are the 2 of you doing?
So that's like the top. The crate is the whole vehicle.
The whole thing. So what will happen is the balloon will just continue to float upwards. But
Gotcha. Didn't know that. Now I do.
Right.
Shit.
So you can grab one of the chains that will link you to the balloon. That's not a problem. If you wanted to.
I feel like that's a problem. It's going to float away.
Well, it will continue rising, yes.
That's where we're going anyways, buddy. You'll be fine.
Don't worry, it's on fire. It's not going to rise that far.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever seen the movie?
You're still concentrating, by the way. Vankus, are you still concentrating on that spell? Is web a concentration effect?
It is not. It would have been another 6 points of fire damage.
Okay. Added to the panic, perhaps, or pandemonium that is happening, Draxus and Valentine, the 2 of you are hearing this high-pitched whistling sound as an old-fashioned kettle nozzle might start to whistle. And a casual glance up reveals that there's a set of metal plates resting on top of the balloon itself that are glowing red hot. And the plates are starting to whistle because of the temperature that they're getting to.
Is there like a burner?
You look around, there doesn't seem to be. So the balloon itself is completely enclosed.
I look at Draxus. I'm like, what do we do?
We jump.
Shit. Okay.
Aim for the water.
I am going to.
You look down to see the captain, Atnim, Kasim, and Jenks all floating in the water.
Oh no! I have rope. I'm going to, if I have enough time,
Sure.
take rope and grapple and hit it around the chain links, and
Sure.
then just wait.
All right, there's not so much waiting as already this whole thing is starting to happen. You grab your rope, you sort of loop it around the chain, you're holding onto the rope, holding onto the chain. Draxus, what are you doing?
Are you lowering the rope down to the deck? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to
So you
slide
like hook
down
the
it.
grappling hook and slide down?
It's fun, Mike. Just go for it.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure that's what he was doing, so I don't have to teleport away again. Yeah. So if you've grappling hooked the rope there, and
I mean, I'm not really worried about you. You can fucking teleport. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
He grabs on the rope and he zip lines down like a fireman on a pole.
You're
Yeah,
also going to be sort of zipping down. Okay. Jenks, you watch. So do you, Vankus, and yourself, Barnabas, for that matter. You watch as this crate swings out. Valentine and Draxus just start abseiling down this rope that they have managed to drop down. The final strands of spider silk give way. And the crate, because of the momentum of it being unhinged and uneven, just sails past the whale and disappears down into oblivion. As it's going past, you're just hearing this, no! All of the orcs inside of it. It's at that point that the balloon above you then explodes in another massive fiery blast. The heat just is too much for the gas.
the whole way down. For the first time ever, Valentine is actually just like, and then
Yes, as this blast of fire washes out over you.
Jinx.
The rope severs and you fall.
Yeah, so
And
that
then
is
I go with
exactly, exactly the problem, is that this balloon just erupts out in all different directions. So the chains that were holding onto the metal armor around it just swing out wildly. So the two of you on the rope also get swung around. You both need to give me dexterity saving throws, please.
Catch them, Jinx. You can do it.
Jinx is in the hot tub.
Oh my god.
And she's just like,
Oh,
Drax,
that was an acrobatic.
Draxus, this is your clean water you're going to sell. She's just sitting in it.
Oh,
Michael,
boy.
Michael,
All right, so
100 gold a barrel?
We only used one of them.
Michael.
I rolled the wrong thing.
yeah,
I wasted,
Draxus,
I wasted the 20 on the wrong skill.
You're hanging there, and this explosion goes off, and you shimmy down the rope, and you kind of land on the deck without too much problems. You do, however, take 2 points of damage as you sort of crash into the deck. Draxus, you unfortunately let go at just the wrong time as the rope was sort of spiraling outwards. So you now sailing out. The whale is leveling off. You were coming straight down, and you're still going to go straight down past the whale. So we're going to go out of initiative now because we don't need it anymore. But that means that somehow you guys need to save Draxus, or you're going to do your...
The moment he feels the rope snap and his arms let go, he's going to teleport. I'm going to Misty Step 30 feet.
Why was I worried?
Onto
Why
the-
was
onto
I
the ship.
fucking worried?
So yeah, he as soon as the rope whiplashes, and he goes and realizes that he's no longer attached. He just evaporates and on the boat.
All right. You take 10 points of damage as flame and fire kind of washes around you as you teleport out of this wreckage. Bits of balloon drop down onto the deck, big metal plates and things, and then the rest of it just burns up and disappears down into the void. The Sartoon continues to fly forward. She hasn't got any other kind of instructions. From the hot tub, you hear someone going, "Yes! Well done! We are heroes!
Good work, everyone. Good job.
That was brilliant! And I'm gonna come up and give Valentine like a big hug and everything. Like, totally ignoring Draxus and all the teleportating. He's fine.
It was Venkus. Venkus did the web. I did nothing. I just climbed up a rope and then fell.
Well done, Spider Boy.
So I would have been 30 feet above the whale on the rope.
Correct. I forgot that you were hanging 30 feet above.
Oh,
correct.
no.
So that's all starting to plunge down as well.
I will try and jump from the rope onto the whale.
Venkus?
Yeah, where's Vegas? All right, give me an acrobatics check if you please.
The fucking roof all over again. Just poof.
Everyone's
Acrobatics or athletics?
acrobatics.
All right.
What do we got?
Don't die. Don't fuck.
Oh, that's not good.
Fuck.
It's not that. It is this.
It's a 4 total. My modifier is 1 higher.
4 total. All right. You're only 30 feet, so you only take 3 points of damage as you sort of bounce on the deck.
Okay.
But because you're still in spider form, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have your 8 little anchors that you put out and come to a sliding halt. There's a scream from the bathtub. The water trough, as Atnim Kasim thought that you were a giant spider about to land in the mall. And then the captain looks over at him and says, "Now how are we supposed to sell this water? I can feel you've made it warm. What is this? Idiot!" He says as he starts to climb out of the bathtub quite quickly. You must get out quickly, he says to you, Jinx.
Oh, Jinx felt the water get warm and was already out.
Yeah. All right. Jinx like, "Whoa, I'm out. The little pilot's like, "I did not know. I thought he was coming for us."
It wasn't me, Draxus.
I want to scare you over
that would
to-
scare the piss out of somebody.
I want to scare you over to Valentine, and like my fangs are going. I'm pointing with my legs at the orcs and the balloons and the ones down, and then I rear up on 4 legs and point at the whale and make angry spider faces at him.
What are you trying to tell me?
Wait, I'm good at
He's
this.
trying to speak to me. I know it.
He would
He's
like
caught in a well.
to Eat the orc that fell from the well. Yes, if you're hungry, you can eat him, of course.
Is that you want to eat him?
Clearly, that's what he's saying.
Sour. We've eaten them before.
The deck quietens down, and eventually Adnim Kasim kind of goes to take control of Sartoon. The corpse of the orc is still on deck. It didn't fall off or anything like that. So I don't know if you want to do anything with that. Otherwise, the journey continues, unless you have a different plan. Those other balloons are now probably 1,000 feet away, and you can see that they've given up trying to even get out of the Zephyr. Nice. You're too far away from them to notice.
Vegas, are you going to fucking eat this orc? Is that what you want?
So after a bit, I will resume Venkus form and not be a spider. No, you nearly got Sartoon harpooned. I said the whole time we should have went the long way around. Sartoon is a beautiful creature, so gentle.
She's very strong.
Yes, it's very dangerous, and I will fix the water for you.
I agree. We should have gone a long way around.
You could put clean water back in there for me to go back in?
No, less orcs.
Yes.
Yes, I can ask the water spirits to purify it.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Sounds like a tomorrow job. You're right.
All right.
Can I look through the orc's stuff? She's just gonna rummage through his things, his dead guy.
The orc, most of the stuff that they're wearing is this very crude metal, sort of bits of metal plate that have been strapped to animal hides that have been rather badly cured. You do notice that this particular orc has around his neck the string of elf ears that have obviously been cut off from various victims. They've all been dried rather crudely. There's 8 of them. The orc itself has got sort of tattoos, red and blue clay, perhaps, that's also been put on as war paint. And he has a slightly surprised expression on his face.
I think Jenks would take like a cloth or something and put it over the orc's face, realizing that there's no coins or anything valuable. She's going to, while you guys are over there discussing eating him, she's trying to push him off the edge of the sky whale. And she's like pulling a leg. You turn around, she's trying to pull an arm. Like she'll eventually.
She's doing that. I walk over. I grab the orc by the neck, and I will throw it off.
All right. So yeah, between the two of you, it just tumbles away down into the distance.
Oh my gosh, she was worried about like having the proper burial for this orc, who clearly would have eaten her.
No, the face scared her.
Oh, that's why you didn't have coins. And then you just push him off the
like, I don't want it. I don't want it.
See you later, douchebag. And then just like...
Well, she saw that she was going to give him a proper burial, and then she saw the elf ears, and she's like, nope, you're a dick. Boop.
All right, he tumbles off down into oblivion. The next day proceeds without any sighting of balloons. And there might be a certain amount of tension to look out for these things, having now encountered them. But there's absolutely no sign of them. The 5th day rolls on, and life is almost settling into a routine of sleeping, waking up to Leslie's breakfasts, spending the day avoiding the sun, enjoying quiet evenings that get quite cool in comparison to the warm days. Eventually, there is a sighting on the horizon which gets everyone to stand and look. And it's Adnim Kasim who saw it first, and he's busy shouting, "Hightown! There's Hightown! Look, we've arrived at Hightown!" Hightown is not necessarily what you were thinking it to be or hoping it to be. It appears to be a very small rocky island, maybe 500 or 600 feet across at its widest. What makes it very interesting, however, is that the city has been built up and down underneath it. So it looks like this large spindle city hanging in midair. And the upper half is this brilliant white, almost blinding set of structures of towers built around towers on top of one another. The underside looks more like a honeycomb of construction lattice work, walkways that are on the outside of the buildings, and that sort of extends downwards as well. Different color, though. It's much, much darker, and you can see every now and again the little green signs of growing foliage. Various hot air balloons are busy floating up towards it. Some are leaving it. You can see there's several of the sky wheels. They're at the top side of the city itself, coming in. Some are departing. Every now and again, you see these little wings. They look like bat wings dropping away from the city and then plunging down at quite a speed to the terrasphere below. Pulling into port at Nim Kasim, Captain Serac looks at you. So where do we want to go exactly?
Circus.
Can you be more specific?
No, there's a circus and we have to find a woman there.
Adnim, we need to sell the water.
Oh, that too.
Ah, yes.
So you Doc, stay there, sell your water, sell my water, separate the profits, and use the profits from my water to pay for docking fees.
You would do
And the
this?
wedding.
And
And the love nest.
the
No,
love
what-
nest.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That
And
is,
bread.
I am touched by your trust. I will not let you down. That
Perfect.
is one thing Captain Serac does not do. He does not let his passengers down until they have paid. Then he will let them.
Great.
The day before we dock, I spend purifying the water.
Right.
Hanks gets back at it one last time. After he purifies it.
Barney,
Oh, dear, dear, oh, dear.
Barney, come here. Come here, buddy.
Yes, what is it?
Listen, I wouldn't ask you to part with all of your armor. I know you're very, very attached to it, especially after fighting tribal.
Yes,
inhabitants.
I wouldn't part with
Right.
Bennett.
Yes. Have you ever been to Hightown?
No, it's
Yeah.
not
You
on
see-
our route, if you will.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not on anyone's route. You're real shiny, and you draw a lot of attention. In Hightown, that's not great.
I see.
Yes, the less fortunate and more enterprising of folk like shiny things.
If you are speaking of thieves and bandits, let them try to take Bennett from me. They will pry it from my cold dead hands.
There's so many more of them than you. Just put a cloak on or dirty it up or something. I don't know.
How could I possibly be a paladin follower of Brax if I was ashamed of my own armor in a city of hooligans and such ruffians and miscreants?
You know, Draxus, maybe it's good if some other people take some things of Brax. They'll learn more about it.
You know what? That's true. You know what, Barnabas? I
spreading
take
the
it
word.
back.
I take it back, and he puts like a big claw on his pauldron. He says,
I'm sure that if you wear the shiniest of armors in this town, Brax will definitely keep you safe.
and he puts his hand down.
Of course he would. He would definitely keep me safe.
Yes.
And my own capabilities would keep me safe. To honor Brax.
Perfect. Then I won't need to. Best of luck.
And he starts to slowly walk away.
And he's like kind of like still muttering to himself, yeah, I would be fine. I'm a paladin. What kind of a paladin would I be if I was afraid?
Brax is the most powerful god.
So this the docking procedure takes a few minutes as you pull into the lower side of the city, which you can see now all that trussing work. Rather alarmingly, that is the actual street, if you like. The buildings themselves have obviously built downwards, and then they put these temporary trusses out, and people are walking along them with this drop down to infinity below.
Oh, God. Just more of the heights of, like, dangerous falling to death areas.
It is. And what's more alarming is that those walkways are packed with people. Pushing their way through, etc., etc. So the five of you are going to disembark and go and look for the circus. Is that correct?
Can I make a out of maybe like bed sheets or extra cloth, maybe like a papoose, so that while that guy is selling the water, he could take the chicken for a walk.
You want me to take rucksack? Was that his name?
Yeah, ransack.
Ransack. You want me to take him for a walk?
I made a rucksack for the ransack.
So you just want him to
get out there. Some fresh air. I made a leash, but then I realized, like, if he gets kicked off, then.
Yes, that was very thoughtful of you. All right, I will take your chicken when I go to sell the water.
Okay,
So
thank
he
you.
might be exposed to the greater delights of world travel and expand his mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's a she.
Yes.
We don't judge.
I don't think he is.
She's good luck, though.
I don't think boy chickens lay eggs.
Neither has that one.
Oh my god, what have we been eating for breakfast?
This isn't a rooster. This is a chicken.
All right, so you get Captain Saruk to take your chicken for a walk so that it can experience the world. And then the 5 of you disembark?
6. I'm going to take Leslie. We're going to the circus.
7, the donkey.
Oh, yeah, the donkey's probably
My little
coming
buddy.
to the circus either.
Scratches doesn't want to go.
I'm not. He seems nervous with all this height stuff. They don't look like they've got a lot of
Why do we need to take the
wandering around there. I'm not sure it's the wisest course of action.
Yes, stay here. Why are we taking him?
I can make a papoose.
Wait, no, we don't.
Donkeys do not get carried. It's a code.
I'm against taking Leslie with us as well, but if this is something for your ritual or whatever, I think she might be.
I interrupt his sentence by scratching his ears because I know that messes him up every time. when it's like, donkeys don't, and then I just start scratching.
No, it's true. We almost lost him in the last combat. I'm pretty sure he died. I'm pretty sure I saw him die.
I will do my best to keep an eye on everybody to make sure that we're okay, but Frankus, you're going to have to protect Leslie in case anything happens. You never know.
Indeed, it could be a trap.
By who? Balak? He's dead.
Yes, but perhaps,
I mean, you are right.
perhaps his organization is not. I mean, consider, why would it
We
be
know where we're
so
going here.
publicly demonstrated here that this woman has a green glowing gem? It's so obviously public on the flyers, yet we were the ones sought after.
He was also
troubles
going on a
me.
balloon. Maybe he was making his way straight there.
Valentin, I love just how much you destroy Barnabas, but boy, do you remember the man with the dragon?
What's my...
As you say that, a shadow passes over the top of the whale.
Oh, I forgot about him.
I know.
I like playing with you. You set up nice cues. As you, quite literally, the shadow passes over the deck, and looking up, you see, it can only be the white dragon sailing over the top, heading towards the white part of the city.
I don't know why I thought that him and Balak were the same person. We should go now.
Yeah, no, Balak definitely worked for him.
Yeah, shit. Let's move. Now, take Leslie or not, I don't think she'll be safe.
Great.
Move.
Yeah.
I know, Leslie, you hide in the love nests and stay here.
I'll protect her.
No, Scratches, you're coming now. You're
No,
coming now.
we do not take Scratches with us. We need to secure the stones.
So you want to leave the stone that's inside Scratches on a boat that's undefended?
This will be most difficult, I believe.
Maybe get the whale out of here.
Valentin, I point, you stab. It's fine. Yes, because the flying dragon didn't find the flying whale before.
Jinx has made, she cut a cloth so that you could wrap it under the donkey and then tie it around your arms like a backpack.
Fine, donkey, come
Made it
with
for
us.
Barnabas to carry him.
I have to carry a donkey now?
Yes.
All I'm saying is, if you asked me
You jackasses,
to
for what?
walk a chicken, I would return it to you fried.
Would you,
I'm
Barnabas?
just saying.
Would you?
I'm just saying.
A lady in need.
I'm not in character right now. This is what Cody would do.
As long as it wasn't a pig.
I'm not walking a fucking chicken. All right.
I'd be mad if you didn't save me any out of character.
Can you walk my chicken? Yeah, it was delicious.
Where's the doggy bag?
No. So yeah, I'll walk the donkey.
This is most. I protest. He says as he sort of gets pulled up onto your back. But once you've kind of got him in position, there's a hoof that kind of scrapes across your. There's a lot of positioning going on before eventually he kind of settles down, and then this donkey head sits next to you.
Carrying the donkey.
That was what you were designing, wasn't it, Jinx?
Yeah, backpack.
How could I possibly carry a donkey on my back?
Not
like an
because-
you're fine.
It's a miniature donkey,
It's a
and
mini
because
donkey.
Jesse Fraser just dropped $20 on a super chat to make sure the donkey's tail lands Frank smack dab under your nose like a mustache.
Well, that is indeed. Well, like I said, there's hooves, and then there's tail under the nose, and in the ear, and then suddenly there's this very clear donkey next to you, and he looks at you and he says, "Don't get any ideas, big man."
I grab the donkey's face and I point him towards me and he says, "Can't you make donkey noises that don't sound like a person?" Okay, then do not
The
speak.
Sean Connery accent.
Do not speak.
He looks at you. You can see him clearly thinking. I just did.
Guy is thinking more than the donkey is.
Yeah.
Like Sean Connery.
I'm bringing up his check here. He looks at you and he goes, "Bray."
Okay, don't do that. If somebody here finds out that there's somebody walking around with a talking donkey, he's going to know it's us. So shut up. Don't say anything.
Technically, he doesn't know we have the donkey, just you.
It might. I don't know. I'm a little bit less suspicious than you know. A talking, glowing donkey.
That's true.
I come up and tug on his elbow. The problem's not the talking part; it's the glowing part. Animals talk sometimes. This happens.
Yeah, but it's
I keep trying to explain it to you.
I know, but it's still weird. Just
The donkey kind of looks at you.
okay. Okay, let's go. And I start walking.
As you start walking, Barnabas, you hear in your ear with this very hot horse breath, "I think you smell quite nice."
It's lavender.
Is it loud enough for the rest of us to hear that?
The donkey thought he was whispering, but he has no volume control. So yeah, you as you kind of starting to make your way into the crowds.
I come up to Barnabas on the other side and sniff him, and in his other ear, he's right. You do smell quite nice.
Jenks has a piece of bread. She's turning around when there's people passing and going by.
Right.
What does he smell like? She's
Lavender. You
walking
should
back.
smell him. He smells quite nice.
Go get out of my. And she's just kind of like pushing back through people because she was in the front. She's gonna go smell him.
He's blushing. Like from all of this, he's like actually the first time uncomfortable.
Valentine, Draxus, you want to get in on some of this?
Can you shut up?
I
Continues walking.
will never smell Barnabas.
The wood is I smell quite nice.
Oh well, fine.
No,
There's
thank
more
you.
for us.
Valentine, you are busy pushing your way through the masses. You notice that there are maybe 5 youths. They are very malnourished, very kind of oily and manky looking, typical street kids. And as one might expect, they don't walk in the mainstream on the inside of the platform. They sort of loop around and hang out on the outside of the platform, holding onto the poles, swinging around with the casual abandon that one would have having grown up down here. And because of your passive perception, you realize that they've marked Barnabas as a target.
I grab
looked at the donkey and moved on, but these guys have marked him.
I look at them, I whistle, and I grab a bag of about 15 gold and I throw it at them and I say, "Leave us alone." And I keep walking.
The one leader grabs the gold, and you watch with, I don't know if it's satisfaction as the bag. He almost grabs the bag and immediately underhands it, flicks it out to a friend who grabs it, immediately tosses it upwards to the level above you, and the bag disappears. And then the five of them also just disappear into the crowd.
I'm going to keep an eye out, and I'm also going to have a dagger in hand.
Right.
And I want to kind of make that apparent.
Sure. A lot of people don't even notice it as they kind of push past you and bustle past you.
And then I'll stop. I'll wait for everybody to kind of move forward, and I'll stop at Barnabas, and I'll stay next to him. And I say, hey, some kids might try to take a shit. Oh, what? Oh, never mind. So, yeah. And I'll just keep walking.
All right. You make your way progressively upwards. There are various stairwells that lead higher and higher. You look around, and every now and again on one of the walls, there's many different posters and things that have been plastered over the years. But the circus one is definitely there. Sometimes the image of the woman being fired from the trebuchet has been graffitied to obscenity. Other times, someone's written a little comment saying, went this, loved it, and they've drawn 5 little asterisks underneath it. It's just various types of graffiti all over the space. What you realize from just casual conversation, hearing people, is that they're on the upper side in one of a very large tent, which has been set up specifically for the event. There is a show that will be happening in about an hour. And from what you can gather, it's going to take you about an hour to get there, pushing your way through, stopping every now and again, because there's open grills where they have meat that's busy being cooked, and vendors are constantly pushing their wares in your way. So it's a constant kind of struggle to get to the top of this area. As you make your way, and if you want to do anything, just stop me. Otherwise, I'll
Nah.
I'm
being very cautious.
Yes.
Like everybody else can be like, oh, lavender, like everything like that. But Valentin isn't just pissed off at everybody. He's very worried, and he's just keeping an eye out.
Absolutely. You pass shop fronts that sell armor. Some of them sell body parts of animals for use as remedies, home remedies, witchcraft. Well, pseudo-witchcraft in this case. But just any manner of things. And most of it, none of it seems new. It all seems secondhand. Lots of stores are genuine salvage stores where these were wrecked balloon recovery type of stores. Jenks, you want to say something?
Yeah, I think she's kind of pretending to be aloof and goofy, but she's also paying attention because she travels a lot and no one ever really messes with her because she looks like she doesn't have anything, because she doesn't. But I think she's just watching everyone else who, like Barnabas, who is wearing like shiny armor and, looks all fancy.
Correct. And Barnabas is without doubt the shiniest individual here. Every race waddles past, crawls past, climbs past, just en masse. You see some elves moving past, lots of little contingents of dwarves, the ice dwarves specifically up here. Trying to peddle black ice, which is their main sort of exchange good. But yes.
Draxus, on the other hand, is the complete opposites of everyone's caution. In fact, all trappings of a would-be professor have left, and he looks completely comfortable here. In fact, this is an old stomping ground for Draxus, where he would meet contacts such as Wesley Williamson and others. He has he's like adapted almost a new personality where you see like a much more, not like confident, but like different, like the way he walks is different as well. He doesn't carry himself as astutely. He looks like he could just blend into one of the shadows and just blend in with the rest of the rabble here. And he just casually walks along like he doesn't have a care in the world.
Right. All 5 of you, please roll a d20 for me.
10.
Vanka's got a natural 20. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
As you're making your way up, Vankus, you hear a voice that takes you right back to your childhood in the Undersphere. You remember this voice as more of a, well, you tell me how you remember it. The cry is Kaka!
I remember it as the voice of reason that would always keep me from falling into social faux pas after having grown up with owlbears and living in the wilds with Old Wolf for so long. Bankus's social graces were pretty lacking, and that is definitely that could only have come from Christoph, one of the urchins I used to run with, one of the scavengers.
Absolutely. Indeed, you see Christoph striding towards you, sort of pushing people out of the way. Christoph was always an oddbod because he knew about social graces, which he tried to teach you. And he throws his arms around you. Do you reciprocate?
Absolutely. It was less social graces and more of things like, hey, you can't just sniff people.
Yes. And he sort of takes a step back with his hands on either of your shoulders, and he looks at you and he says, "Are you still sniffing people?"
I look kind of sheepily at Barnabas and like, no. What have you heard?
I'm sorry, indeed, he was.
But it wasn't my fault this time. The donkey sniffed him first.
I step forward to this person. I say, "Who are you?"
Christoph. I'm an old friend of Vankus's here. I'm sure he's told you all about me. Now, what brings you up here? You're so far away from home.
We came for the circus. My wife wanted to see the circus.
Can I insight him? Not to see if he's lying or anything like that. I just want to see what his demeanor, if he's like being creepy about anything, just an idea, just a read on him.
Does he look like a druid from the woods?
Give me an investigate check, Barnabas. So, Valentine, your insight check, he is genuinely happy to see Vankus.
Okay.
And to the point that he has let his guard down in terms of sort of looking around and being aware of what's going on. He's dressed in heavy leather garb, quite robust kind of leather armor. He doesn't seem to have any weapons on him himself.
Okay.
Barnabas, it's difficult to see because he's moving so quickly as he's gesticulating with his hands towards Vankus. But you do notice that he has just sticking out from below his leather collar this rather curious tattoo, which stretches up the back of his neck and just to the base of his ear.
Do I recognize the tattoo?
No, it's not arcane. Let's put it that way.
Is it roguish?
No. It looks more tribal of a sort. And again, he refocuses on you, Vankus. Yes.
Is it something that I would be aware of?
The tattoos. So in amongst the gatherers in the Undersphere, occasionally people would arrive, very heavily armed, mercenary-like people, and they would call for volunteers, for recruits. Generally speaking, people pushed back from that because it was authority. You joined a rank structure. You gave up on your freedoms. You were seen as a bit of a sellout for joining them. On the other hand, they promised to pay you and take you topside to the Terrasphere and to the Solosphere and beyond. and they all had tattoos like this. So it means that Christoph must have at some point abandoned the boys to come up here.
So, Christoph, what are you doing so far from the rest of the gatherers?
Oh, you know, the usual kind of things, he says as he's sort of rubbing his neck. Again, Valentin, you now realize he's becoming a little bit nervous about that sort of statement. But you say you're going to the circus, though, Vankus. I didn't know you had an interest.
Ah, yes, we're looking for one of these, and I go over to Valentin and rip open his shirt to show off the gem, just enough so he would be able to stick with his clothes.
I immediately push Vankus's hands off, and I look over to him, and just 2 inches from his face, I say, "What are you doing?"
It's okay. It's Christoph. We grew up together. He's a good person. I would not have survived the streets without him, and I would not have learned about gathering.
I hope so.
Angus, personal space, though. You don't just rip people's clothes off. I know that's how you met your wife, but
Or smell them.
I look up at Christoph and I say, "Do you know what these are?"
Not until I just saw that, as a matter of fact. There's a reason we're up here, Vankus. Perhaps here is not the best place to talk. Are you around for a while?
Well, for a little bit at least. We want to catch one of these circus shows, and oh, wait a minute, we also have to catch up to someone we ran into recently. I think, right? That's what we want to do. Is that right? And I look at everyone else.
Yes.
No, we'd like to avoid him.
Oh, I thought we were rushing to him.
No. We'd like to avoid him.
Well, there's someone we need to speak to before somebody else does, and it's a bit time sensitive.
But it's true. We're in a hurry, so you
I understand.
Do that later, or walk with us.
And I've got some things to report too. Why don't you go to the circus tomorrow?
Why?
Tomorrow,
No
maybe
reason.
late.
It's late now. You might not make it on time, and it's always bad to miss the first half of a show.
So I've dealt with Chris. Do I get the vibe that he's like trying to delay us intentionally?
Yeah, you've known him for a long time, and yes, it's one of those kind of, maybe you shouldn't go there right now because he definitely knows something's on.
So I will kind of like lock arms with him and start moving back in that direction. Come on, Christoph. I've known you a long time. Spill it on our way there.
Vankus, I'm just saying that perhaps what you should rather do is get lodgings first. You know, lodgings, so somewhere to sleep, so that your companions don't have to sleep hanging upside down or in a cave or something like that. Much more important than going to the circus.
Well, I think we're all right with lodgings. We have our own skywell if we need it. It's very important that we get to the circus, though. We are on a holy quest for Barnabas and his God. We're going to reforge a heart.
God? All right, stop. He says,
Is there anywhere that's away from people, like inside a tent or anything?
you can pull him into an alcove where normally there would be a trader or a cellar. This appears more to have been used as a urinal.
I want to
But
do
it's
that
empty.
and pull him over and bring everybody else. And I'll look at him and kind of in a hushed tone, but I can actually whisper because we're on stream. And I'll look at him and say, "What do you know? What's going on?"
I don't know. Vankus, you know about the rising hand. That was one of the mercenary groups that used to recruit people in the Undersphere.
Yeah, they would always grab some of our gang.
It turned out that they're not that bad, actually.
If they are gang, they cannot be great for the denizens and citizens of this city.
No, I rang with the gang, and Christoph did.
With the
as
Rising
well.
Hand, that's your group.
No. That's mercenary.
Vankus was never part of the Rising Hand. Things changed once you left, Vankus, and well, there was this figure who arrived and hired us to assist in finding things for him. Originally, it was easy, but that was 2 weeks ago. Now we've been sent up here because, well, we're supposed to be getting something from the circus. I was just surprised to see you here. That's all.
Can you describe the man?
I don't know if I should.
He said to describe him for us. I'm sure you may have misheard him.
Give me an intimidation roll.
And I'm like setting the donkey down as I'm saying this, FYI. I don't want to be like sitting there with the donkey being like,
I
smell like lavender.
No. As he's sort of sliding off of you with his hooves. What? Damn these I need fingers.
Come on, +5. Suck it. Barnabas is great at intimidation. He's such a hero.
He looks at you and wow. You know, Christoph never backs down from a fight, but in the presence of Barnabas's brilliance, he looks up at you and he goes, understand that times were difficult. Vankus, you know what it's like down there. You take whatever you can get. He was a rather strange fellow. We didn't really get to see his face much. It was sort of shrouded. He wore a heavy hood over, but he pays well and just gives fairly simple instructions. The Rising Hand didn't have much of a choice. We're supposed to be meeting him here now.
This time they're not after a thing. They're after a person.
Have you seen a dragon recently, besides me?
That's what he flies on.
That's what I thought.
I turn to Vankus and I kind of look at him forward and I say, look, you may trust these people. Back in the day, maybe you did, but now they are spies against our own enemy. And you need to choose who you side with now.
Christoph, you should come with us and forget the mercenaries.
He kind of points to his tattoo. I think it's a bit late for that now, Vankus. You should know something as well. I can see what's happening here, and I understand. But Vankus, I never meant to betray the gang. You understand?
You betrayed the gang. What happened?
The Rising Hand had some requirements for us to join. And one of those requirements was to supply fresh miners for the deep mines. And
so
you see him wrapping his hand around a pole. I may have sent the gang to the mines.
As he says that, and I kind of like get the gist of what's going on. With that, like tears start streaming down Vankus's eyes, kind of like smearing the smudge. And he shoves his hands forward underneath of his arms, almost like he's going to hug him. And then he just turns into a brown bear and launches him over the side.
And we'll be back next week.
Oh, come on.
That's awesome. Bear hugs.
Bear hugs for the win. That was
Fuck? What the fuck?
We needed so much more information than that.
Oh no. I feel so bad.
Tune in next week. Vegas goes on a rampage throwing everybody off.
throws everyone off. He just runs down the corridor and just knocks people off. Yeah, chaos.
Population 5.
God. Well, David, since you're throwing people over, why don't you throw some love at the sponsors?
I would love to throw some love at the sponsor. Butterwood Academy is one of our sponsors this season. They have great hex chests. And I got one of those around here too, as well as other things made of wood. They make all the things out of wood and
What up?
cool dice towers, portable dice towers. Look kind of steampunky, even though they're made out of wood.
What up, boy?
Would you believe it?
Would you believe it? Of course.
That
also
should be
have-
their slogan.
We also have Dungeon Painter Studio in the house. All these great maps that you're seeing come from there. They're made there. And then our virtual tabletop of choice, Fantasy Grounds. It's our favorite. It's Mike's from unMadeGaming's favorite. It's everybody's
Oh, yes,
favorite.
it is.
And we're giving away. We're doing a giveaway. So yeah, if you want to enter that, that'd be great. There's no reason not to. Send it to your friends. I mean, shit, it's gonna be an unlimited or an unlimited. It's an ultimate gaming license. So that's it for forever and ever. You can create D&D games and have your friends jump in them with you. And so we're gonna be giving away an ultimate license. Link is somewhere. Unmade just posted it, and we will post the better link over on Twitch as well. So for all you guys watching us over there.
Listen, guys, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. Give your whole family the link. Tell your whole family to go to the Patreon. $3 pledge. They all get a patron. They all get a podcast. Everyone loves podcasts. There's going to be at least 5 to 10 people at your house.
Watch the Saver Dice
Just-
After Dark with your family.
Yes.
Watch it with
Yes,
your
you
family.
should probably just play it right at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my god.
Oh my
When you already
god!
include the video, the gestures are great.
This
Yeah,
We got this
weekend's
episode called Gobble Gobble.
Yeah.
this week's video was like this one was like where it got really raunchy. So it was definitely fun. But and by the way, if you guys are patrons over there and you guys are on the tier for the after shows, we will be doing that after the 4th episode because we don't want to release that. It's already recorded and it's ready to go, but we don't want to release that to you because it has spoilers in it for next week for Monday's show. So we'll probably release the after show. When should we do that? You want to do that on
Next Friday.
Tuesdays?
Next Friday.
No, we can do it on Tuesday. Why not?
Sure, whatever.
Do it on
Why
Tuesday.
ask? Why ask if you have an answer?
You want Friday? I don't know. That's weird. Whatever. We love your faces. Have a safe holiday. Eat fried chicken if you're a guy, I guess. Is that what you guys do out there in Japan?
AFC, baby.
No, that's not rude. That was what he
Christmas.
said.
That's
I
what Christmas
forgot.
is racist.
Oh, it's for Christmas. How can it be racist? That's what he said they do in Japan.
Oh my god! Who's calling it racist?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just making turkey noises.
Words in my mouth. We love your faces. We'll see you later. I gotta kick Mike's ass.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.